Hi guys, welcome. Thank you for participating in our interview. First of all, can you two introduce yourselves? So like name, pronouns, your role in STEP, when you first got involved in it, like year, and then also like school and school year.
Okay, I'll go first. I'm Emrys. I'm a senior at Pomona College. I use she, they pronouns. I'm one of the STEP co-directors, and I joined STEP last year.
My name is Kira Apraka. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a junior at Pomona, and I am also a STEP co-director, and I also got involved last year.
All right, thank you. So can you guys briefly describe what STEP does, like the programs that you guys offer, and the STEP mission as well?
Yeah. So STEP engages with local Tongan youth, and we provide academic support, including tutoring, college access, like resume building, those types of things, as well as like culturally relevant activities such as like Tongan language days.
Yeah, and STEP is a collaboration between Pomona's Asian American Resource Center and Motivating Action Leadership Opportunity, which is a nonprofit in the Inland Empire ran by and for Tongans.
Wonderful. And then directing this question towards Emrys, how did you personally decide to get involved with STEP initially, and what made you want to become a coordinator or co-director?
Yeah. So I initially got involved with the ARC being like a mentee and a mentor for the Asian American Mentor Program. And while I was a mentor for AMP, one of my close friends was both an AMP mentor and a ARC intern, and she was interning with STEP as one of the co-directors at the time. And so I always heard about it through her, but I never really got involved. I didn't know that much about it. It was on Saturday morning, so I was like, I don't know what this is. But I want to go into K through 12 education after graduation, and so working with kids is something I've always been really passionate about, and so I initially got involved with it both because of that interest and also because of my involvement with AMP and the ARC.
Wonderful, thank you. Kira, how did you personally decide to get involved with STEP initially, and what made you want to become a co-director?
Yeah. Similar to Emrys, I also got involved with the ARC first through the AMP as a mentee and a mentor. Mm-hmm. And when I was a mentor, I also was an ARC intern. That's when I started with STEP. But the way I heard about STEP, like freshman year, I was hanging out in the ARC with my mentor at the time. And there was, I guess, Pomona alum now, Marina, who was currently on STEP. And she was like, oh, Kira, you should join STEP. And I was like, let me think about it. And then I was like thinking about what I wanted to like improve in myself at the time. And I've never been like super great working with kids. And so I was like, this could be a challenge for me and also a way to like build my communication skills. So I was like, this would be a great opportunity. And then also be able to engage with community outside of the 5 Cs.
Great responses. All right. Next question. What is your favorite part of STEP? Particularly, do you have any moments or memories with STEP that were meaningful to you, or like that stood out to you?
I think Kira will agree, like the programming we do is just really fun. So like the general structure of STEP is we have tutoring from 10 to 11, and then we have programming from 11 to 12. And we do like a wide variety of programming. So we've like taken them to the library in the village or to the planetarium in Estella. We've done some lessons with the swim team and like STEM activities and just like really anything you can think of. And so the programming is really fun and memorable. But I think I also have a lot of really good memories just from working with the kids and with the parents and the community partners. We have a particular student who's like 5 or 6, and he used to be like one of our harder students just in terms of like getting him to engage with tutoring. And we thought that he maybe like didn't really understand what he was supposed to be doing, or like he wasn't good at his homework. But one day I kind of like had a breakthrough with him where I realized we just needed to like turn everything into a game, or like we just needed to like make everything more interactive than for a lot of the other kids. And so this particular day we were like in their church, because sometimes we have step in their church when they have events going on, and I was literally just like chasing him around the pews, rolling around on the floor, like I don't even, it was like kind of crazy, but it was really fun. So I think that's a really good memory of mine.
Yeah, I definitely agree that our programming is a lot of fun and like maybe not super typical for a tutoring program. But I think that's one of the charms about STEP. And then I think one of my most favorite parts of STEP is like getting to see the kids interact with not only the volunteers, but since we have such a large age range for STEP, it's like catered towards anyone basically K through 12 and beyond or below a little bit. Like seeing how the older kids interact with the younger kids and like seeing those bonds form, because a lot of them already know each other, many of them are family, but some of them don't know each other. And so it's really cool to see like them start to form friendships with each other, and like finally seeing volunteers being able to connect with like mostly the little kids is like super gratifying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So fun.
So fun.
This next question, kind of a two-parter. So what do you want other people in our 5C community to know about the STEP program? And why do you think STEP is important? Like for our community, like the Pomona community or the 5C community or just the Claremont community in general?
I think like one thing people might not know about STEP is that STEP was actually initially started by Sefa, who's the director of the Draper Center. And like the Draper Center now is really established in that it has a lot of like different tutoring programs for like elementary, middle school, high school, based around like a lot of different things. But I think like a lot of the Draper Center programs and like Health Bridges really like flourished because of SEPA and because of like the partnership with STEP. And I think that like STEP is just not as well known as a lot of the other Draper Center programs, and we have a lot of trouble getting volunteers. But I think like the 5Cs and particularly the Draper Center just owe a lot to SEPA and to the STEP community for like everything that has come out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think also since we are running out of the Asian American Resource Center now, some people might be like, oh, do I have to like be part of that community to join STEP? That's like not true. STEP is for everyone, like anyone interested in working with kids, interested in like learning how to work with kids, enjoys like a fun environment, like STEP is for you. Mm-hmm. And I think it's also a great opportunity to like get to know the communities that surround the Claremont colleges. Mm-hmm. Just like get to know where you are demographically. Yeah.
Yeah, great responses. So, Kira, you just touched on this, but follow-up question to that. How can people who are interested get involved in STEP?
Yeah. We're always looking for more volunteers. So STEP runs every Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon. And then we include an optional lunch for volunteers to come to at Frary from 12 to 1-ish, where we just eat lunch with the kids. And it gives the kids an opportunity to get food. And then also more fun for us to hang out with the kids. Yeah, and so it's just really just come out. We meet either at Walker or Estella. We have an interest form on the ARC Instagram, I believe. But yeah, we look for like committed volunteers for the reason that like we want these kids to be able to build relationships with you guys. So it is important to us that you guys are able to commit some amount of time to the program. But yeah, you have anything?
And so you kind of just answered this question, but this is one of our last questions. Like, what kind of qualities do you think would be best suited to volunteering with STEP? You kind of already mentioned like commitment and like some level of passion or interest, but what else?
You definitely need to be flexible. Like Kira mentioned earlier, STEP is pretty different than a lot of other traditional tutoring programs. And so you have to be, just willing to be flexible, willing to work with a really wide range of students, willing to be really creative. And also something important about STEP is that we're really not just a tutoring program, especially because of our partnership with Malo. We end up like dealing with a lot of other things or offering a lot of other services besides tutoring. And we really value like the community connection we have to Malo and the relationships we have with the parents and the Malo staff. And so, you also have to be prepared for it to be more than just a tutoring program.
Cool. That was our last question. Do either of you have anything else you'd want to add or say?
Yeah, I think it's important that we acknowledge that STEP is run by this student group, but also we couldn't do like anything without the helpers of one of our parents is really involved. Annie is really involved in Malo and really helps us a lot with STEP. And then as well as Senna, she helps us with a lot of the coordinating, going and buying swimsuits for kids, like those types of things. We really couldn't do it without them. As well as other community partnerships.
The Draper Center for letting us use the Draper van, Kristen at the Draper Center, Sepha, Lilofi, who runs Malo, and her kids also attend STEP. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you guys so much.
Yay.
Yay. Thank you.